Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Retro Alliance Gaming's Horror Corner. How are we doing today?
That's a good question. Maybe you should answer it.
Maybe we should answer it. So, today I'm obviously doing another video, but in this sense I'm not actually going to be telling a horror story. I have other ones in mind that I'm going to be telling you guys, but I was sitting there kind of in a dark zone talking to my brother Mitchell and talking to Marvin about a lot of spiritual stuff. Yes, honey.
I exist.
Yes. And talking to AJ about a lot of different spiritual things. What, baby?
That's not my name.
That's not my name. Talking to Etno,
Thank you.
about a lot of different spiritual things, and talking to my buddy about his religious beliefs, and it got me to thinking about my beliefs. Now, one thing that I want to say is that I don't consider myself to be a religious person. I'm just not, like, whatsoever. But that being said, I am a very spiritual person. There is a difference between the two. I'm not going to go into it right now. But I also consider myself somebody, again, very intrigued by any kind of supernatural concepts. But I always try to find a scientific reason behind it. I guess you could say I'm kind of like Mulder from the X-Files, where I want to believe and I want to see things. But even if I do, I tend to question them. That being said, I fully believe that there are ghosts. That's what I wanted to talk about today, and that's going to be our subject. Now, there's been a million people and friends and so many people I know that have said, I have seen a ghost. They have seen a door shut by itself. They've seen an apparition moving through a house, or they've gone somewhere. So I have gone out and I've sought finding some kind of ghost or entity. I've gone to the graveyards. I've gone to haunted locations. I've done everything I could, and yet I did not see it. But I have had some experiences that I will tell you guys in the future. So it got me to thinking, well, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I have to go back. There is one thing that I did see, and it reminded me of a whole nother story for you guys. And I saw it in an old house that was haunted, and I was supposed to be I went and took pictures in this house that people were begging me not to be in, and I saw something interesting. Could have been a mess up of the camera, who knows? Going back to the subject of this. So I started thinking about these ghosts and what they can be. Now, if you ask somebody what a ghost is, everybody's going to tell you something different based on their religious beliefs, their spiritual beliefs alone. If you go by Christianity or a lot of other religions, they're going to tell you that it is a person who has passed, they've died, and they haven't moved on, that they have some kind of unfinished business that they need to do here on earth before they can move on to heaven or hell or wherever it is they're going to be going. I don't believe that. That's just not my personal beliefs, and I hope you don't judge me. But this is what I started thinking about. Are these people lying? Are they actually seeing ghosts? And I do not think that they are lying whatsoever. I think that absolutely they are seeing ghosts. But what are they? If they're not these souls that have died and they're staying behind to figure something out, what are these ghosts exactly? And here's the conclusion that I came up with. Now, scientifically, I remember hearing before that whenever you die, this is one part of the subject, every molecule that makes up your body spreads out wherever you are in every possible direction. You become a part of everything. You become a part of the trees, any plants that are around, the walls, everywhere. Basically, the energy that makes up your body can never actually die. It is always there. And some scientists have actually said that if they can create some mythical machine that could take every molecule the way it was spread out and put it back together the exact way that it expanded, that they could actually bring you back to life. And I thought this was an interesting concept, so I read more into it. And one other thing that I thought was very interesting was scientifically, they said whenever you speak, whenever you say a word, it never disappears, no matter what you do. So right now, I'm speaking, and every word I'm saying has a vibration, and that vibration will stay in this room that I am in right now. And if there was a way to listen to that vibration, you would hear the words I'm saying to you, whether it's hi, how are you doing, fuck you, whatever it is I'm saying. So you can't get rid of any of those kinds of energies. Every action that you do, every movement that you do, is happening all at once. So what I was just saying a minute ago, it's still happening. what I'm saying now, coming out, that will be continuous, and it moves on and it moves forward. So it got me to thinking, why is it that every time there's a haunting, at least 90% of the time, it's always in an old building? You never hear about it being in a new building, but some old place or a castle or some place that's abandoned. Or you also hear of it being from a place like the Amityville Horror, where people were murdered and all these dramatic events happened. Well, here's what my theory is. The reason that happens, which is obvious, is when you go to a place or a castle or any kind of building that has been around for 50 or 100 years, you've had so many different people live, love, die, do so many different things in there, that all of those different energies, all of those different voices, all of those different movements and every action have been stored up in this building, kind of like a spiritual hard drive, okay? And they're just spreading all through. So when a place is brand new and fresh, you're not going to get as much of that. But when you go to a much older scenario where so many people have been around, that kind of energy is going to build up. Have you ever noticed that when you walk into a certain house for no reason at all, you look at your arm and the hairs lift up on your arm? Why is that? You go into a certain building and you feel just uncomfortable, maybe. Or maybe you walk into a building and you feel very serene and wonderful and just everything feels calm. Again, being the same old building. What changes that? Well, I think that these energies, when you're speaking and when you're talking, which by the way, they're trying to create instruments to be able to hear that, to actually physically be able to find these sounds. I think this is an amazing concept, but these energies sometimes are a little bit too dramatic. So right now, my energy is calm. But let's go back to something like the Amityville Horror. You had a man who woke up in the middle of the night saying whatever. He heard all these things telling him kill, 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 kill. And he went through each and every house, you guys know the story, or each and every room, and he murdered people. There's been people who have gone up and been slaughtered, killed, all these dramatic events. When these things happen, the amount of energy that the killer was putting out, as well as these poor souls who were attacked and murdered, was extreme. Your hormones, your sweating, the energy from your brain, everything was being pushed out all at once, so dramatically. And what I think is, while my energy, as I'm speaking right now, may not give off too much of a vibe when you walk in, something like that puts a heavy, stagnant energy into the room that you're in. So imagine this. Somebody also says that whenever they walk into someplace that's haunted, they always say the same thing happens. So if you go here at midnight, you will see a lady walking up the stairs. If you go to this graveyard, you're going to hear galloping from the Civil War. If you wait till 2:30 a.m., you're going to hear a woman crying. Why is it that these ghosts you only see most of the time at a specific point doing the same things over and over again? Again, going back to my theory, whatever happened in that house and whatever energy that was put out, for some reason it was strong enough to be able to show these entities. So if you take somebody who's empathic, they have a lot, and they can, yeah, exactly, and who can see and feel things more, and you put them in there, maybe that's why I haven't seen something, but maybe that's why other people do. But the question is what they're seeing a ghost? Somebody waiting to go to heaven for, pass the guy the coin and be taken down the river? I don't think so. You know what I think? It's a recording. Now, I know you're thinking, what? But it's a recording. If you think about what I said earlier, everything you say and you speak never dissipates. It's always there. So that energy was so strong that you could literally physically see it. So again, just like if I picked up a camera and I recorded somebody with an instrument, you'd always be able to see that video. But in this case, you're seeing a lady walking up and down the stairs crying. You're seeing somebody screaming or getting stabbed. What you're seeing is the leftover energy that was so powerful that it stays in there, and it happens over and over and over again. Some people will also tell you these people are stuck here because that dramatic event, they can't get past it, and that's the reason why it's happening over and over again. Again, from a religious standpoint, that would make sense. But from a scientific standpoint, I think that's what we're seeing. I think we are literally seeing recordings of what happened in these places. So in other words, I don't fear ghosts. I don't fear any of it. I would love to walk into a place and see something like that. It would be amazing, wouldn't it? Maybe if the, or maybe what I'm saying doesn't connect with you, maybe it does, but that's what I've come to the conclusion of. Yes, honey.
Okay, but there have been ghosts following me around since I was a child. Explain that one. The
Yes.
same ghosts.
I'm not claiming to be an expert on all of these subjects. You feel ghosts, people say ghosts are following them around, moving from place to place, almost like something is attached to them, like an energy is attached to them.
Do you think it's one of my past lives?
It could be one of your past lives. It could be many, many things. I still have a lot of different ideas that I want to come up with to try to figure out a logical reason for these events to be occurring and to be happening. But all I know is the best concept I could come up with is these voices you're hearing and these images you're seeing over and over again is a very powerful energy that is literally being done over and over and over and over again. And people move into these houses and they move out, and some people stay and they're not so afraid. That sounds like a possibility, and scientifically speaking, it has been proven again that these energies don't leave. That is what I think a ghost is. Now, that being said, again, I do not have all the answers. There are things like poltergeist where the energy, somebody feels something shoving them and they feel a physical pain. Maybe there's some kind of concept I can come up with for that. I'm not sure. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much what I want to talk to you guys about today. I want you also, again, to know that I am a very open-minded person. I do not think that what I'm saying is 100% true. I could be dead wrong. There could be a heaven and a hell. These could be souls that are waiting to be carried off and they have unfinished business. But this is personally what I think. I would love to know what you guys think. What do you think a ghost is? What's a poltergeist?
Do you believe in ghosts at all?
Do you believe in ghosts at all? Have you ever had anybody follow you around where you just kept feeling it there? You walk into a place where you feel really uneasy.
And we don't mean stalkers.
Yeah, and we don't mean stalkers, of course. But if you do, let me know below. Tell me any of your stories. I'm very, very interested to hear what any of you guys think about this. All this stuff really fascinates me. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of our video today. Please stay tuned for more interesting Horror Corner videos coming up. I appreciate all our subscribers. And as always, my friends, until next time.